Hey Rack Nation, it's Dave here, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some of the history of the rest of this property that I own here over at 476 D&H Avenue in Riverside, because I talked about the Indians the other day, and I talked about back behind where the eel weir is, and people seem to like that. So I'm going to talk about like the next generation, because it's kind of interesting. And what brought this on is I was clearing some ground out, you can see here, and I came up with this guy. And it's some kind of conveyor belt piece, and the reason that's important is because after Indians and Native Americans, and when this was an industrial town with a lot of foundries and one of those Pennsylvania boom towns, what people did on this property was they had barges that were like coal barges, and they would go up and down the river and they would dredge out the center of the river because they would find all this coal in little pieces that had come out of the mines and wash down. So basically it was like mining but for free, right? It just comes into the river, and all you got to do is go out there and vacuum it up. Now when I say all you have to do, you had to have a boat with a vacuum machine on it, and you had to have a way to unload it. But this property is where they used to do it. Like there's a lot of things like this. I don't know if you can really see it, but this is a stone, probably a big boulder. There's a lot of them in this property, and has a piece of metal jammed into it, probably to pull things out. And so what they used to do here, as you can see this bank behind me where I have the kayaks now, they used to have train tracks. I don't know where they got them, but they used to run them down into the river, and then they would take winches. I'll show you where the winches used to be attached, and they'd pull these barges up out of the water after they had sucked all these little pieces of coal up off the bottom of the river, and then they would unload them, and then from here they could load them onto trucks and deliver them to people's houses for heat. So there's a lot of evidence of this operation. Like over here, if you look behind me, see these concrete pieces. These things are in the ground like an amazing amount, and they have still some pieces, big pieces of steel that are left, big bolts. And I assume that this is where they had the big winch that pulled the boats up out of the river until they could unload them. And it's funny because down the river, there's a guy, I don't know if he wants me to mention his name or not, but he has a couple of the boats. I've put pictures of them. I've gone down and talked to him. I'll put, after this video, I'll put some pictures of some of the old pictures of these barges that used to run out of here. And then that went on for a while. No one seems to know exactly when that closed up and maybe moved downriver a little bit. And then after that is what everybody thinks of as the next chapter, which is the old nooning house, which you see behind me now. And that's, we're in the process of taking it down. That piece that you can see right now is the last part that's left. That's the kitchen. We've taken the rest of the building down, and eventually in the near future, it'll be completely taken down. And I'll be talking more about what's going in its place. And it's kind of exciting, I think. It's a fitting next chapter for a property with all this history. And we want to do it proud by doing the next thing here that's exciting and right and becomes part of Riverside's lure. Thanks for listening. More's coming up soon.